this landed on your page, God's telling you to watch it, because at the age of 53, I'm here to tell you it's never too late to be what you might have been. Now, it's a little bit of a lengthy story, but I'll try to sum it up as best as I can because I have amazing news. So, for 53 years, I've always wanted to be a fashion designer, and I come from a small town that has 5 stoplights. And when I was little, people would say, you have to be from Paris or New York to be a fashion designer. I never took the first fashion class in my life. I've taken 2 art classes, but ever since I was a little girl, it was a dream of mine. Last year, I had to have an emergency hysterectomy. My doctor said, wear something comfortable, hence I created the Caftans. In less than 6 months, I was in a monkey store, I was in the Ritz-Carlton, I was in Virginia Weddings magazine, and it just completely took off. Now, you gotta pay attention. Back in July, I went to visit my friend in Florida. Now, she is a grandmother, and she babysits her 2-year-old and 3-year-old during the day. And we got the contract with the Ritz-Carlton and in the monkey store, and we had an extra day. Well, she lives about 3 hours from Palm Beach. And if you know anything about Palm Beach, Worth Avenue is like the Rodeo Drive or Madison Avenue or Fifth Avenue, whatever you want to say, of Palm Beach. That's where the who's who stores are. And it was 90-some degrees, and I kept telling her, I said, Holly, God is telling me we got to go to Palm Beach today. We had no appointment. We didn't have any contacts, nothing. About 10 times, God just kept saying, go to Palm Beach. And I could tell she was hesitant. But as a great best friend, she was like, fine, we'll go. So we drove across the state for 3 hours with a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, 95 degrees. We get there at 4 o'clock. We get to Worth Avenue, and it's dead. Like 2 people walking the street. Imagine going to Fifth Avenue and you don't see anybody. Like, what the what? So I didn't know where we were going. So we started walking down the street, and Holly goes, look at that cute little corridor. So we walked in the corridor, and there was a courtyard. Here is a store, beautiful resort wear dresses like this. I go to the door, and it's locked, closed. And then I look down, one store down, and there's a door with the door open. I'm like, that's their door. God saying, there's your open door. So we walked in. I didn't see a human being. And this voice goes, oh my God, you look amazing. And I think I was wearing this piece right here. She goes, where did you get that? I said, thank you, I'm the designer. Long story short, we're now in her store on Worth Avenue, okay? So she got some pieces. She has some clients that special orders custom pieces for me. Now I can say I'm on Worth Avenue. And we drove back home, okay? It wasn't a huge sale. It doesn't matter. I'm on Worth Avenue, okay? That was July. October, we go to the Atlanta market. The market was super slow. We got a couple stores, but I mean, pretty much breaking even. But when you're new to the business, you have to spend a little bit. Whatever you spend, you make a little bit. That goes right back into the business. I haven't collected a paycheck. I just want to keep doing my dream, okay? Well, in comes this lady to the booth. And I'd put her in her 70s, 50 years experience in the fashion industry, has a store on the beach in South Carolina. She bought the line. But then she looked at me and she goes, I'm on the committee for Palm Beach Fashion Week. Or she just says, I'm on a committee. And we do a fashion show every year at Mar-Largo. Now, if you don't know what Mar-Largo is, it's President Trump's personal home. Now, it doesn't matter your political affiliation whatsoever. You can't just walk in. You have to be invited, or you can be a guest there. They have weddings there. I think there's a golf course. You know, the who's who go there. So I don't care if it was Obama's house, okay? But it's just a prestigious place to go. And she said, we're always looking for the newest designer, and your stuff screams Palm Beach, which, hello, palm tree. It does scream Palm Beach. They're one size fits all. They're loose. They don't, in 90-degree weather, it feels like you're naked. It's perfectly wonderful. And she says, we pick like 4 designers that are well known, and, you know the names, Oscar de la Renta, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, blah, 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 blah. But we're always looking for the newest. And your stuff screams Palm Beach. Then she told me the price it costs to be in the fashion show because it's a charity event. I was like, I don't got that kind of cash. But I am honored that you would ask me to be at this event. So she's like, just pray about it. I prayed. She had called me every month. Now, this was October, okay? I prayed every month. Money came in, but then you got to order stuff and you got to pay your people and blah, blah, blah. It's just sort of like you're breaking even just to get to the next point or just to get bigger or just to have stuff on hand. So we've gotten store by store, but I mean, not explosive, but they say the first 3 years are, the hardest to get through, and we're going. So in January, every night I pray to God, God, please send me sales. Please send me sales. Well, about a month ago, I prayed to God differently. I said, God, send me the people. I got chills. I said, God, send me the people who will make my dream happen. The only thing I changed in my prayer, okay? And so the next morning, I went for my 4-mile walk, and my phone goes off, and the text message said, God told me to call you. I kid you not. I have the text. I can screenshot it if you don't believe me. God told me to call you. I'm like, come again? And then my phone rang, and it was this lady from Atlanta, okay? And she goes, Dawn, you have been so heavy on my heart, and God sends me your vision every day. She said, your pieces are beautiful, but they're completely different on the runway. People have to see them in person, and you, my friend, have to be at Mar-Largo. God is telling me that you have to be at Mar-Largo. I said, honey, I would love to, but I don't have that kind of money. She goes, I want to call in somebody. So we three-wayed. I didn't realize it was Palm Beach Fashion Week. There's New York Fashion Week and all those other things. New York Fashion Week, great. I would be honored to be there. You have thousands of designers. Palm Beach Fashion Week, 5 designers on the runway with the big dogs. So this lady, the head of Palm Beach Fashion Week, is on the phone with me. The girl from Powhatan with 5 stoplights who was told I could never be a designer at the age of 53 since I was 5. And she looks at my website and she's like, you need to be on the runway. These are absolutely beautiful. And again, we talked about the price or whatever. She goes, however, to be in Palm Beach Fashion Week, you have to have some sort of connection to Palm Beach. And I said, I do. The store on Worth Avenue. And I mentioned the store's name. She goes, that's my best friend. She goes, if she picked you, she's super picky. You're worthy of Mar-Largo. I said, again, I don't have the money. We talked the next day. I said, could I do a payment plan? And we talked about different things. Well, I forgot to tell you, there were 2 stores that owe me the exact same amount of money. That evening at 5 o'clock, both sets of money dropped into my bank account was the exact amount that I needed to be in Mar-Largo. I called her. I'm going to be in Mar-Largo. And here, if you don't believe in God, you better. Because if I told you the name of who I'm going to be on the stage with, you would drop your jaw. Me and truly the biggest fashion house in the world. I'm going to be on there. But the date, I started this journey because of a hysterectomy I had March 19th, 2025. The Mar-Largo Fashion Show is March 19th, 2026. So this little country girl from Powhatan, Virginia is going to be on the runway at Mar-Largo. It doesn't matter if it's President Trump's house, with the 5 other biggest designers in the world. So you're never too late, which you might have been. If you have a dream, don't listen to anybody. It's in your heart. God gave you the vision so you can do it. You can absolutely 1,000,000 times do it. I'll work 20 million jobs if I have to. Eat ramen noodles. Do what you got to do. You find a way to get it done. Okay? You do. God gave you the vision. He gave me the vision when I was 5 years old. When I was a PE teacher, we had dress up what you want to be. Every year I dressed up as a fashion designer. And this year, in about 4 weeks, this country girl is going to be walking down the runway after my 12 little designs go down there as the newest, greatest designer of Palm Beach Fashion Week. So I'm in my office now because they want my purses, which I haven't sold any in 3 years, on the runway at Mar-Largo for Palm Beach Fashion Week. So God bless you. And since I've been talking the last 3 years, I've been talking more to God, especially within the last year. Talk to God. He'll show you the way because dreams do come true.